Hi there. My name is Tara Gibson. I am the executive director for Row Your Vote Virginia. I wanted to hop on here just to introduce myself and to show that there is a real person behind this PAC. And also to kind of share my story and talk a little bit about why I started this PAC in the first place. I've spent my career asking a lot of people to share their story, but I don't typically share my own, and that seems a little unfair. So I'm here to share mine. So my story starts back in 2003 when I was living in my hometown of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I had dropped out of college, was working as a waitress, and dating a guy I went to high school with, and I got pregnant and I had an abortion. And it was the hardest decision I've ever had to make. I realize it's different for everyone in that situation, but that was my experience, and I knew that it was the right decision for me. I refer to this as my sliding doors moment because that pregnancy and that abortion were a wake-up call for me. And it's a reference to a Gwyneth Paltrow movie where the character her life has two different paths based on whether she catches the train or not. And for me, I could have continued the pregnancy and probably stayed in my hometown, but that's not the life I wanted for myself. And so I wanted to choose a different path. And so I saw this as an opportunity to do something different. And so I moved to Richmond, Virginia. And I chose Virginia because I have roots here. My dad is from here. He grew up here. I was born here. And so that's what I did. I went to VCU. I got my degree in political science and graduated in the spring of 2008. And that's when I started working for the Obama campaign. So I was an organizer in Richmond and in Southwest Virginia in 2008. And it was one of the best experiences of my life. And I'll never forget that inauguration night, or the day after the inauguration, there was a staff ball, and a newly sworn in President Obama said to a room full of staffers, don't, in his very dad-like tone, he said, don't put that energy on a shelf for the next 4 years. Take it back to your home states and towns and apply it there. And so I took that very much to heart, and that's what I did. So I came back to Virginia and I fought for the passage of the ACA. I went to work for Planned Parenthood for 6 years, where I fought against attacks on abortion, birth control, and Planned Parenthood itself. I've done more elections than I can tell you because we have elections every year in Virginia. I started a campaign for paid family and medical leave. I started my own lobbying consulting shop. But last summer, when Roe fell, it wasn't surprising. I think a lot of us knew this was coming since 2016, at least. But it was devastating. And I got the call that, I tend to get the day after something bad happens politically, which is, what can we do? Tell me, how can I help? And one of the ideas that we talked about was starting a PAC. And I thought this is where we could potentially make a difference, because what I learned during that summer of 2008 was that elections are won and lost in the summer. And so I thought, well, I think people are underestimating the energy on abortion. And the midterms prove that to be true. So I started this PAC on November 10th, and the goal is to raise and distribute $1 million to between 4 to 6 swing districts here in Virginia. The important thing, I think, to note are the stakes that we have here. We have a governor who is eager to sign any anti-abortion legislation. He has used the word gleefully. He will gleefully sign any abortion legislation put in front of him. We have a very slim majority of Democrats in the Senate. It's 22-18 with one anti-choice Democrat. So that's a problem. And then we have on the Republican side, and the House side, we have Republican majority with 52-48. So numbers are tight, and every vote is going to count. And there's a lot on the line this year in Virginia. So I wanted to see if I could do my part to try and raise some money and get this money to people early, not late. Money always comes in September and October. Let's get it to them early. Let's help them hire staff that they need, knock more doors, buy more mail, talk to more voters. That is what is going to help them win and help us protect access to abortion here in Virginia. So I hope that you'll join me. This is really our own little sliding doors moment, I guess, because, if things go one way, we definitely will lose access to abortion here in Virginia. If we do what I think we need to do here in Virginia, then we can continue to protect the access that we have right now. So please join me. You can sign up at rowyourvotevirginiava.com. And you can also donate, which is also really important. So that's it. That's my story. That's how this PAC came to be. And thank you so much for taking the time to listen.